Howdy crew, got a brand new welding rig unboxing. Let's get to it. Got another package in today, super excited to open it up. Bought this stuff from Amazon for the welding rig, so let's dive right on in. Go. All right. So, first and foremost, gonna have this power style, rechargeable, waterproof, and they are flashlights. So I take out the little rechargeable cables there to charge them up in the truck. I'm going to pull this one out first. Ooh, look at that one. All right, that is nice and bright. It does focus very well. So it does have 3 settings. It has bright, low, and then strobe. And it does have the focusing, so it does go in and out. And then also it does recharge right here, which recharging was a must for me. That way I don't have to deal with batteries for it and just charge it in the truck. There were some great suggestions on different battery manufacturers in the comments on one of the prior vlogs, and I went with this one. I am looking at some of the others that was mentioned before in the comments, and those are much more expensive, but I'm still considering those for future use. So those comments were not in vain. Don't worry about it. I will be looking into those even more so as the truck is making more money, and then I can use that as a write-off later on. But just to start off, I figured this was a nice, bright flashlight. You all can see that it really lights things up. So, anywho's, there are 2 of these. Let me bring the other one out. And also, a great thing is that they are waterproof. That was a must for me because being out in the rain, I need them waterproof. I'm not going to deal with flashlights that are just going to stop working if there's rain, standing water gets dropped in, anything like that. That is what it looks like. It does have the square with the circle in there. More of them have that, and I think they do pretty darn well. That's just my experience with the newer ones that have that, but I'd say it lights everything up good. I will test this out in the dark more. So I'm going to set that over there. Little recharge cables. I think these are great. That way they can just plug in the truck and not have to worry about batteries. Next, I did buy both of these from Amazon. So all of this from Amazon. The Pipe Fabricator's Blue Book. If y'all have ever fabricated pipe, done pipe fitting, done pipe welding, any of that good stuff, the Blue Books are like the pipeliner's Bibles, and you can go on forever praising these. Some folks really take out proportion. Take it as what it is, a very useful tool. All this good stuff. It's just stuff that you don't memorize. It's just all kinds of great knowledge. If you're fabricating stuff, you have all these measurements, lengths, distances, all that stuff. And when you're laying out your pipe, you want to have this with you. I've had printouts before, but those are not the actual book, and I'd rather have the actual book on these instead of the printouts I'd have for specific jobs, because they can go into this. These are extremely handy. Some folks will say you can't go anywhere without these, and I don't think that's true. So there is controversy over this. I do view these as an extremely useful tool, and that's how I treat this kind of information, is as a tool, as a very necessary tool. but some folks will say you can't even touch pipe if you don't have one of these, that you're nobody if you don't have one of these, and that's where I draw the line. I think that's complete nonsense. But if you want to be fabricating this kind of stuff, these are very useful. I have not done extensive pipe to where I've needed this in full, the actual book, but I'm getting it now because it is water resistant, and the laminated pages that I had before just aren't going to cut it for what I want to do in the future of structural pipe, repairing pipe, non-pressurized, nothing like that, but just pipe repair that has to be out in the field. Stuff that is not going to have anything flowing through it, but if you're having it for a structural member. And then the Pipe Fitters Blue Book. Both these are written by the same author, W.V. Graves. And again, very useful tool. These are extremely handy. And you have fish mouths. I have done a decent amount of pipe fabrication in the past. Nothing that is over the top extensive, but I have done a decent amount. So this is all extremely handy. I've not had this much info in such a small little book, so that's why these are extremely useful tools. I'll go into more detail on these in future vlogs, but I'm sure some of y'all have run into the same issue to where if you don't have these two books, some people will consider you an absolute nobody. And to me, that's complete nonsense. It's sort of like if you don't have Thorogoods or Red Wings, then you're nobody. I like Thorogoods, but it doesn't mean you can't have some other brand. It's the same thing with these. If you have the information you need and it's not this exact book, it doesn't mean you can't weld pipe, you can't fabricate pipe. These are extremely useful tools, and I highly recommend them. I've used these in the past that were not mine, but I've used them on job sites, and I've used information from these that I've printed out into bigger sheets and then laminated, had out in the field when I was using it extensively for a certain project or group of projects. And very useful, and I would highly recommend it. But it's not ever to say if you don't have these books or this one or that one that you can't weld pipe, you can't fabricate pipe, because there are plenty of those guys out there. And if you're getting in the field and you don't have these, don't worry about it. Don't listen to them. It's not that big of a deal. Get the information, the proper information that you need. There are resources online, but these were both about $33 approximately. And it is absolutely great info. And just a heads up, if you're laying stuff out like this, just a little tip to kind of cheat it is go buy some ice cream at a grocery store, and they will give you a super long receipt, and you can wrap that receipt around. You can make your layouts on there, and then you don't have to buy extra paper or special paper. That's what I've done, and it works fantastic when laying out pipe. So that's just personal experience with a little bit of personal opinion in there. But all this stuff's great, laying this stuff out. It is a lot of fun to an extent. I don't care for pipe the most, at least pressurized pipe. I do enjoy the fabrication, again, to an extent. It just depends what it is. But you're going to have all your measurements in here, and it's great. And your different pipes, and just all kinds of good stuff. A lot of numbers. You can't memorize all that. Same thing with this one. And I'm just kind of thumbing through it, so if y'all are looking into getting it, you can kind of see what's in here. You can see if there's something that you need or something that sparks your interest, then you can buy it. But I'm just going to kind of go through it so y'all can see. It is very useful information. I would never knock anyone for having it. Even if you don't need it that instant, it is something good to have on hand, so that way if you need it, you got it. So again, both of these and both of these were the shopping haul on Amazon for the welding rig. It was really great. It wasn't too expensive. There's gonna be more stuff from Amazon very soon. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to showing it on here. But again, I've heard it a lot out in the field, working with different welders, even non-pipe welders, saying that if you don't have this, you're an absolute nobody. If you don't have this in your pocket or in your truck with you, you're an absolute nobody. And I don't know why, it's just very common. It is very good to have it on hand. I'm never going to knock that. It's all great information. The author has incredible ways to have everything laid out, and it's all vital. It's all accurate. I don't knock any of this. It's all fantastic. But to say you can't ever do anything because you don't have this book or this book, don't worry about it. I don't know. It's just those guys. I'm sure some of you guys have run into them, and just don't worry about it. They're not there to show you how to do things. They're not there to control your life. If you need this, get it. If you don't need it, you don't have to get it. Don't let those guys control everything you do. And this book does not make you a welder. None of this makes you a fabricator. It gives you all the measurement stuff, but if you don't know how to apply it, you can't fabricate it. You can't lay it out. You can't fit it. You can't weld it. So, again, just let it go. Don't let those guys bother you. So, great haul. Very excited to have this out in the field. This will be in the Molly panels because this will be inside the cab of the truck. If I need to reference it, bring it on out, lay stuff out. I have extra receipts on hand or receipt paper to go with the Chase POS terminal. That's going to be for giving receipts to customers, and they work great. Or if you go to a local store and you buy some ice cream, they give you one with super long receipts. It's great for laying it out on pipe, and it's super handy. So that's also a helpful tip. So that's the haul for today. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next vlog.